Hi, everyone. It's Maureen. It was so good to meet so many of you over the past week. I know that Kelly and I had a blast. We had quite a busy week, to say the least. And I wanted to bring this up for those of you, maybe some of you who were in attendance this past week of November. Um, you may recall seeing this, or for those of you online, you may have seen this sketch, really quick sketch. Now, I was able to locate the recipient of this drawing, and I wanted to go ahead and tie it in because I believe it was Tuesday. I think it was around the 7th. We did have an event, but earlier on in the day, and this sometimes happens, earlier on in the day, I got a little nudge to go ahead and draw and sketch. You guys, they're working with me. I don't see them. They're teaching me how to draw here, so it's always kind of fascinating, even for me, when there is that recognition, because I don't know what I'm doing. So they're helping me out on the other side. But I got a nudge earlier on, and I didn't quite feel it was for the event, but what do I know? So that's why I shared it on, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday's event, and to see if anyone recognized her, because I knew I had this lady come to me, and she gave a little bit of information. So if you remember, going blind here, I kept hearing a song, Hey Girl, which is by No Doubt. Why they work and why they give me songs when I don't know the artist. I think one of you from last week actually meant I had to badly sing it. Um, but this song was referenced. And there's always hidden meanings whenever they do give songs. It might not have been a song that they listened to or ever heard of, or was long before or after their time. But songs often do come in as a reference point. And when this lady came in, this young woman, she had given me a little bit of information, the song, and there was a name that sounded like Carly or Corley, and I wasn't quite sure. It was two syllables. It was really fast. So sometimes it sounds like, sometimes it references someone else here or there. And she had mentioned that she hasn't been gone long, so it did kind of feel that she passed fairly recently, not like decades or even a decade ago. But she wanted her recipient to know that she's with her. And there was such a strong angel reference. I felt like angels were really, really important. I didn't quite understand. I'm thinking, well, I don't know if someone had angel statues or people collect angels. Angels were really important. At one point, she wanted me to put, towards the end, she wanted me to put a halo, a tilted halo, I may add. And sometimes accessories do pop up in the drawings, and it could have a separate meaning or it could be part of their humor. But I thought this will be a first for me to go ahead and add this, this little halo. And so I did feel she had a good sense of humor. I felt like it was a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek wink for who it was for. And at one point, too, as I was drawing, I kept feeling she wanted me to put little dots over her top lip, almost like a dog or a cat, where they have the little dots. And so I ended up choosing against that. I chose not to go ahead and do that. But there was also a strong reference to dogs or cats. So I didn't quite understand. That's all that I got. I had to go ahead and get ready for our event later on. But I felt that I was done. And I felt that the drawing represented this individual when she was a bit younger. So in the very least, if you don't want to watch anymore, totally fine. But I had to go ahead and tell you I was able to find the recipient, and it ended up being a friend of mine. So if you care to hear the rest of the story, I'll very quickly share with you. A dear friend of mine, out of nowhere, randomly sent me a screenshot about angel numbers. And it wasn't something that I was ever familiar with until some years ago. I've got some awesome stories on that. But I just thought, well, that's weird that she went ahead and sent this, but rather ironic that she did, because a lot of these numbers were fairly relevant for what's been going on within the past couple of weeks. So I went ahead and we were chatting a little bit, and all of a sudden it dawned on me. She had lost a sister not that long ago, and it's one I never met. And this image was just popping into my head. So I thought, does this look like your sister? Does any of this information make sense? And it was mentioned, well, that's a song that she wouldn't have known or would have listened to. And I said, well, that's okay. There's usually hidden meanings in that. I even wrote down the wrong lyrics. That's how much I know the song. As it turns out, it is my friend's sister. And Maury passed not that long ago. Usually when they pop in, I call these postcards from heaven. So they didn't come in live. They didn't come in when we were sitting down for a reading. But whenever something like this happens, they just want their in this case, her sister's attention. And usually the time when this occurs revolves around a date, such as a birthday or day of passing, which you've heard us say they almost celebrate it like it's a graduation, because we don't look back on first grade and say, oh, well, what day or what year did you graduate? We think of the last graduation, but they do celebrate that like a birthday because it's when they got their wings. So as it turns out, the timing is rather relevant. It's another sister's birthday right around now, I think in the next day or so. And wouldn't you know, the name Carly, she actually had a dog by that name. And so it was just her way of popping in and kind of nudging her sister to say, hey, I'm here, I'm listening to you. And it was just a little postcard from heaven. So I wanted to share that with you all. We were able to go ahead and connect the quick sketch, and I'll go ahead and include a photo below so you can kind of see the comparison where their essence is captured. But either way, it's always a neat experience. I wanted to update all of you. I know some of you were kind of curious too, like who would that be? Who would have that tilted halo? And there's a lot of other details that tie in. She got a kick out of that too, because apparently there were references made about, teasing each other having tilted halos. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much again for supporting us. Thank you for, helping me out and helping to relay as far as different sketches and matching them up with the right people for those that weren't live during our events. Have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving, and thanks again.